Hi, this is Anne Brown from Happy Being You, and this time I'm going to talk to you about how to overcome shyness. Do you ever find yourself feeling shy and insecure and wondering who is the right person for you to be when you interact with people? Do you ever find yourself trying to be a certain way or pretending to be something just so that people will like you and so you can fit in? I know what that feels like because I used to be like that, and sometimes I still am. I think we all get scared sometimes, particularly in different situations, something that we haven't encountered before. Or sometimes it can happen when we get triggered. A situation reminds us of something in our past. And whatever the origin, it's tiring, draining physically and emotionally. And it's so frustrating because you know that that's not how you want to be. And I would say if you recognize this in yourself, then that's fabulous, because it's the first step to overcoming it, is recognizing that it's happening consciously. The next step is for you to uncover what's going on underneath. So what's happening at the unconscious level. And often that is due to a knot of fear, something that's all tangled up and is quite deep inside. So if you're in that situation where you're wondering how you should be, or even imagining that situation, when you can imagine, if this happens regularly, then you can imagine yourself in that situation and just ask yourself, ask that small part of you, what is it that you're scared of? And you might find lots of things come to you, or you might find that it takes some time to come out. But you might get an answer, something like, I'm scared that they won't like me, or they'll judge me, or I'm scared that they'll reject me, or even I'm scared that they won't like the real me. So whatever you get when you ask that question, the next thing to ask is, what does that situation remind you of? So that question again is really tapping into what's going on at an unconscious level, and it's trying to bring out a memory of a situation perhaps when you were much younger, and that fear reaction became trapped inside. So in that example you might get, well, it reminds me of when I moved to a new school and I didn't have any friends and no one liked me. Or that reminds me of when my mum used to get cross with me and would say that I was too shy and I wasn't like the other children. And if you have got an answer that came from a long time ago, from a small part of you, then do take the time to thank that part of you, because it takes courage to be vulnerable and honest, even with yourself. And then ask that part of you, what do you need? It might be that I need a friend, someone to accept me for who I am. Or I need my mum to tell me that she loves me and accepts me just as I am. And whatever it is that you come up with, you can give that to yourself. And it might seem silly if you're not used to doing this. It is totally possible to be a friend to yourself and to give yourself a hug and to let yourself know that you're loved And I believe that's where it all begins, deep inside. And it's one of the kindest things you can do to give yourself that love and compassion and nurturing that the young child in you really needs. And if you're uncomfortable with saying that either out loud or even inside, then I've got a little doll here that I sometimes use, and her name is Emily. And you can use the doll and give the doll a cuddle and treat her as if she was a part of you. And that sometimes works, that sometimes can be easier. And that brings out your nurturing and loving part of you. But whichever way you do it, it's really important to give yourself that loving attention, because that small part of you is with you all the time, and she needs you to acknowledge her for who she is and how she feels about things, even if it seems silly to your adult self. The child in you is feeling all of that, and when it is allowed to be acknowledged, it becomes a whole lot easier, because then you can deal with those fears and exactly what she's feeling in that moment, or even as you imagine those moments when you feel uncomfortable, to give your inner child what she needs is really, really powerful. If you are shy and you regularly find yourself trying to be someone you're not in order to fit in, then that is a sure sign that it's time to look deeper at what's going on underneath, and for you to create your own anchor and a grounded sense of wholeness and balance that you can use in any situation. If you are feeling various fears, then showing empathy for yourself is the kindest thing you can do. And it's the foundation for learning and practicing new behaviours that you can use in difficult situations. One way to develop a closer relationship with your inner child is to listen to a guided meditation that will lead the adult part of you to relax deeply and allow you to meet your inner child where she is and to listen to her. And if you received this video directly to your inbox, then you're already on my mailing list, and you will have received a copy of my guided meditation, which will lead you to meet and connect with your inner child. If you haven't got a copy, if you have lost your copy, then do send me a message and I'll send you another link to download it again. If you haven't got a copy of the meditation and you'd like one, then come along to my website at happybeingyou.com, and you'll find a sign-up box to the right of that page, and you just enter your name and email address in there and I'll send you a link to download it.